is episode 56. Today is, what is today? Tuesday the 24th of August. Oh gosh. And I've got the wonderful Claire is back with me today.
Morning.
Good morning to everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. And the reason I've got Claire back is A, she's fabulous. B, we thought we would give you a bit of a catch up of where things are at post the announcement yesterday, and Claire and I too, we thought we would share with you, we're playing a new game now. We're calling it, what are we calling it? The regeneration game.
It's insane. I
know.
had an appointment booked for Wednesday, the day after lockdown, so it's going to be pretty white by the time we're done.
Yeah. Mine was booked for Friday. And my cousin, bless her heart, who does my hair, even sent me a text message, cheeky car, and I know she won't see it live, but she'll see this tonight, saying, oh, we're going to have to double up. You're going to be so white by the time this is all over. The cheek of it. Yeah. The cheek of it. But there you go. I think we're all in the same boat, aren't we? But that's all good. So we're here, and we have been, it's actually, you and I have had such a huge busy morning this morning.
Constant.
It's constant. So this is sort of like our, third video call of the morning. It's been insanely busy. And part of the reason for that is actually we had Chris Weiniger from Donegal Yarns in Ireland and Donegal in Kilcare. He joined us and the entire Skeinz team for a training session around the Donegal Yarns, and it was fantastic. It was so good. And so that was really exciting. I'll talk a little bit about that in the minute. But let's get down to some fun stuff. You've got your love note on. I haven't seen you bust that out for a while.
It's been in the cupboard for a while, but you know, when you're in lockdown, you can pull all sorts out of the cupboard.
I know. I decided, as you can see, I thought, stuff it. I'm going to wear some yellow. I think some sunshine is what, is a really good thing to sort of brighten up your day. So I thought I'd do some sunshine, and I put me bright lips on today because it always makes you feel good. It always, look at Greg. Look at this, Greg. Bless your heart. This is where being bald out.
So true.
Oh, I know. That's my husband's excuse, Greg, too, because he's as bald as Badger. Bless his heart. Yeah. So. So we've just sort of been quite full on. So it was wonderful to catch up with Chris, and we've just been madly reshifting our arrangements because, as many of you know, we were due to start our sale tomorrow. And we have decided that we're not going to do that. We're going to postpone the sale because we're still in level 4. And whilst we could still run everything out and have the sale operating, it just sort of kind of seems a bit, you want your bits and pieces to come, and we can't send things out during level 4, but we can during level 3. So we've had a little bit of a switchy-rooney, haven't we? So we're going to just postpone the sale so that we're going to, again, we will know Friday. We'll get a clearer idea, or hopefully, of where we're at. So we're just going to literally just put the brakes on everything. It's not going away. I'm going to leave everything sitting in the sale page at full price. And then once we know when level 3, when level 3 happens, not if, when level 3 happens, we will get that sale up and running for everybody so they can go and do that. And in the meantime, what we thought we will do is we are allowed to accept goods into the warehouse. That is allowed. And we're just tracking down the Kelly Co, which is the authentic Donegal, and we will get all that up and loaded. So we just need to do some photography for that, don't we? And we apologise now to Steph.
Is this the first time we've actually said what it is?
Yes.
Oh,
I let the cat out of the bag the other day because people had kind of guessed what it was. So,
yeah. It was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game. It was a real fun game. And we thought we would do a pre-sale with that. So then that way you know that in that first, we've got this first tranche is coming out on air freight. We've actually air freighted it out so we can have it. The second tranche, now what did he say is going on the water Thursday? Our time, didn't he? He said
they're currently packing it up. So
they're currently, because the mill over there has been closed for 3 weeks. They have this sort of August summer holiday thing that they do. And today was their first day back at work, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he, so it's been packed up to go sea freight on Thursday. So we have got a second lot coming, but we thought if we do a pre-sale for the first tranche, if you're itching to get your fingers on it, your sticky mitts on it, you can go into that first lot of ordering for that. So we thought we would do that instead.
I know I am itching to get my fingers on it.
I know. Talk to the people, because I have actually
talk to the people
because no, it's funny because when I was pulling this out the other day, and then I was digging around. I actually did some housework yesterday, day before, and I was digging around because I thought I haven't got any of the Donegal here to show anybody, and I found the one sample that we had, and it was sitting in one of my other bags because I'd come home to knit a sample with it. Oh, look at this! Look. Say hello to everybody, Rufus. You want to say hello to everybody? Hey,
Rufus.
Yes. Hi, Rufus. He's wanting to get in on the action while I'm trying. So you talk to the people. Tell them what you're knitting. I know you're good at it. You show them what you're knitting, and I'll go and get my thing. I'll go fast.
Right. So this is the. Oh God, what was it? I can't remember what it was called. But anyway, I only just started it the other day. So here is where it's up to. I finished the body. This is a size 2, so it was a pretty quick knit, and it needs blocking. You can see that it's quite a cute little lace pattern there. So if anyone's looking for it, what was it called? I've only got one page in here. Oh, I know it's by Denny Sunshine. Let's have a look if I can find it. Let me just Google that. Something twist. Where's it gone?
Kate saying no dog manages a sad face like a mastiff. You have no idea, Kate. He dines out on that face.
And I'm pretty sure your cat manages the resting bitch face pretty well as well.
Oh my gosh, she has the most intense resting bitch face you have ever seen. She just gave me the look now. She's like, the reason the dogs are in here is because she is on the couch and they are too terrified of her, the 10-month-old kitten. They're too terrified to go anywhere near it. So they're all in here seeing me because the cat's on their couch.
We're so lucky here. We've had such good weather. Like, it's insane. Like, we haven't had one.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We've had the odd shower, but generally comes and goes. I don't know what the rest of the country is like, but man, we've been lucky.
Yeah. Have you had the orcas? Because I saw the orcas.
They were out Awatoto way.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. My husband's been walking every morning and he hasn't seen them. Yeah. But we're constantly, we're always looking out for them. So
yes,
so we haven't had them since
Claire
lockdown.
Literally lives straight out from the ocean. So we've had video calls some days, and actually she's flipped around and you can actually see the orcas out there. So yeah, they are definitely around at the minute because I think it's that sort of breeding.
Well, they've been around a lot more these last few years.
Yeah, they have.
They used to just come through once a year. I grew up in West Shore, and that you could almost time what time of year they came through. But the last few years they've been constant.
They've been around a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, which is awesome to see.
Now Michelle is saying French twist.
That's it, French twist. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, that's right. We got distracted.
But yeah, real easy.
How's it going?
Oh, I was just showing them. That's how I keep them entertained. The body's done, so it's size 2. It definitely will look much better with a block. So I'm just onto the sleeves.
Gosh, that's looking good.
And it would look, if you were to do it in a lighter colour, like an orb, it would look amazing in orb with the stitch definition. But yeah, it's really easy and it's pretty straightforward.
That's looking really, really good. I was just showing when we had all the Skeinz team on here before, and I know I held this up the other day, but now that I've done a bit more, I was just showing the team how. So of course I've gone and I've picked up a project that I started last lockdown, and it has literally been in a basket since the last lockdown, so over a year, sitting in a basket, and I haven't touched it since. Ugh. Right, there we go. Dogs come over so we can be in patting distance. Right. So as you can see, so this is what happens when you leave something in a basket for over a year in your living room and it fades.
It's almost like the lines in like a cliff, so you can see where one lockdown started and the next one, So it could be an ongoing thing.
It is. To be honest with you, I'm not even worried about it. I don't care. In a way, it tells its own story. Yeah. So as you can see, that's how much I've done. But this is a bit that I showed the guys today. It has been in the basket so long that as I'm knitting it, see all of that? So the particular, I'd actually twisted out, I had actually wound off, it's a Malabrigo Rios, and I'd wound off this and it was sitting in its entirety in the basket. But obviously it got a little critter in there. So that's all the breaks that I've had due to critterage. It's all right. It's okay. I've got one skein left, which is enough to complete it, which I haven't wound off yet. And of course, all my stuff is at the shop. So I know I'm going to have to bust out old school and do some hand winding, probably, judging by what I've got left, probably today. But that's all right. We're in lockdown, so it doesn't matter.
I've actually got the ball winder here. I grabbed it. I nicked it from the shop. I know.
That's all right. I'm okay. I'll be fine. So that's where I'm at with mine. So that's tracking along quite well. But what I went off to go and get, back to the tweed. Yeah, so when I was doing it cleaner, because I knitted a swatch for the tweed to actually check. I mean, because it's a classic Aran, they suggest the gauge on it is 20 stitches, which is actually the same as our Southlander. So anything you love to knit with Southlander DK, you're going to be able to knit with this. But I wanted to do just a gradiated short ladder swatch of Jenny saying, oh, why do you start in the middle of a romery? The reason that I did that, Jenny, is if I keep starting it back at the beginning of the rows, because there were so many breaks in the yarn, I would just sort of waste too much through. And actually, I can, the way this particular design is, it's going to be easy for me to wind it back. It's just, I'm not particularly worried, Jenny. It's just something for me. So I'm not following a lot of the rules. Anywho, I did a swatch 4.5, 4mm, 4.5, and 5mm, which is sitting at the shop, and blocked it. So I wanted to see what the yarn looked like just in plain knitted fabric, check the gauge, got 20 stitch gauge spot on with 4.5mm needle, but the fabric on a 4mm needle was actually beautiful. Just such a smooth, soft fabric, which for a Donegal, because this is an authentic Donegal tweed, it is a short fibre woolen spun process. So there is a lot of texture, but this is Donegal soft, so it is actually a merino tweed, whereas most traditional Donegal tweeds are made from 100% Irish wool. They have made this for us using a New Zealand and Australian merino. So it is much softer than the normal Irish heathers or traditional Donegals. So then I went through and I realised that I had this sitting at home. I hadn't brought this back, so I don't know. Oh, there we go. We can get, actually, that's not too bad.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So this one, and I think we have actually taken this colour in the range. I've got a funny feeling.
I'm pretty sure we have, yeah.
Yeah, this one is one of the ones that we have picked.
Has it got the name on it?
No, it's just got the shade number on it. And I can't remember which one this is, but we have taken this. So there is their base colour range across this. What did he say? 50 colours. And we've taken 14 of those 50. But it is one of those situations that if you guys love this so much, and we really think that you will love this, I cannot tell you how excited Claire and I are about this. It's kind of like being pregnant, really, because we've been working on it nearly the gestation of having a baby. This is how long this project's been in the works for with Chris and his team. If you love it as much as we do, there's absolutely no reason why that range can't expand. So we have gone and started with 14 colours. When we pulled all the colours together, it was just a really perfect marriage of lights and darks, contrasts, neutrals, brights. So then that way we would have a completeness in a range. So we're really pleased with what we've got.
Do you want to tell them how we picked the colours? Because I think that's quite funny.
Yeah, it is quite funny. We were talking about it on Saturday at the pajama party, but if you missed it, we did it. So we had the colours. I think we got the cards about March, didn't we? About 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was quite early. Yeah,
and we were having a good look at them and playing around. And Claire and I sort of were playing around with different colours and different ideas. So what we decided to do is instead of us sitting down and discussing backwards and forwards, we decided to actually Claire and I took the colour card away, like the big book that had all the colours in it. And I went back and picked the colours that really spoke to me in the book, and I just put a symbol. And Claire did the same thing. She took the book away and she picked the colours that really spoke to her and put a little symbol. And then I went and did the pop-up in Wellington and came back, and Deb from Outlaw Yarn was with me because she did a road trip with me, and she stayed the night. So we showed it to Deb. So it was the first time Deb had seen it, and she's looking at potentially getting some down there with her as well to sell at Outlaw South. Potentially not in this first tranche, but when the sea freight arrives. And so she's like, what are all these symbols? And I'm like, don't you worry.
We didn't know whose were whose symbols.
We didn't know whose were whose symbols. Yeah. And I said to her, right, you go away with this now, and I want you to go through and pick out what colours speak to you. So that's what she did. So she went out and did that, and it was amazing. There were actually some colours that all three of us agreed on, and then there were lots of where we were adjacent to each other. So one would like one green more, and then the next green down in the range the other person would like. So once we got that selection of colours, and I think there was probably around 30, wasn't there, that were the greatest hits between the three of us. So we took all of those colours, unravelled them out, and then laid those all out together, and that range was selected from that group. Because often what would happen is there would be a colour that, in fact, there was one in particular that all three of us loved, but when we put it together with all the other colours in the range, it was actually the one next to it that worked better.
There was one or two.
There was just a few like that, and so that's sort of how we went round figuring out.
And there was a bit of give and take, eh? There's every now and again there's a colour that you and I butt heads on, and we kind of you get it this time and I'll get it next time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just about making it's about making that range work, because it's having colours that are going to look absolutely spectacular together, particularly if you're wanting to do colour work, but also having colours that that sort of means something. And the one thing that the range does have is the most incredible neutrals, and we have actually gone quite heavy on the neutrals, haven't we? And when I say heavy, we've ordered the two neutrals that we've got. Arthonia, and I can't remember the other one.
I'm gutted I didn't bring home the sample thing.
Yeah, they were really amazing. Like, they are sort of, if you could imagine our Southlander oatmeal or bracken, but just with these beautiful, wonderful little intense flecks of colour through them. I think it was Swilly.
Swilly is one of the colours, but I can't. It could be. That could be one of the neutrals.
I think Swilly's one of the neutrals.
There's a lot of new names we're going to have to learn. And pronunciation.
Yeah, and it is just, we're so excited. So we're just literally working on tracking that down now to get a sticky pause on the on it, so we can get photographs together for you, and then we can get that loaded up for you for a pre-order. Nikki just asking what ply is it? It is technically an Aran weight. It's 190 meters per 100 grams. So the closest thing, Nikki, is I would say 10 ply. But as I was saying before, I did actually swatch through from 4mm, 4.5 and 5mm. I can certainly concur 4.5mm is and what they claim 20 stitches per 10 centimeters as a tension. Over 30 rows, I think it was, as a tension. I can certainly concur with that with the swatch that I have knitted, but I can say that the 4mm and 22 stitch swatch that I did really was quite lovely. It is a denser fabric, which with a woolen spun yarn isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. And it's because a wool and spun yarn is a short fiber process, and the you get this wonderful, beautiful, lovely, knobbly texture, right? This is part of the yarn. This is what makes it Donegal. But it is not quite as robust as something like our Southlander, because those are much, much longer fibers. So definitely when you're coming to select design, and we're going to talk about that in a minute because I have pulled up a suggestion, a good place for you to start, is with a yarn like Southlander, you can be a little bit more generous around playing outside the gauge window, particularly if you're gauging up. So I know that you've seen me do it with Southlander Sport, which is actually spun technically to a 4-ply. I've actually knitted that on the 3.75 millimeter needle to a 24 stitch tension, which is starting to get close to DK territory, and I have no issues whatsoever in being able to do that, because it's the long fiber, the sort of the toothiness of the yarn, it doesn't stretch, it holds its tension, and it works beautifully well. With a yarn like this, the minute you go a wee bit bigger, it will actually bloom in there. You could go up to a 5 millimeter and an 18 stitch tension quite comfortably. The one thing I would say is if you go beyond that, is that then you will be having a looser, a more less dense fabric, and if you were to catch it or pull it, which is more likely once you start getting to a sloppier gauge, that's when the strength of the yarn will come into play. So I really cannot emphasize enough the importance of staying within that 22 to 18 stitch tension band when you're doing your pattern selection for this. Greg is asking how much. That is they are 100 gram skeins, and we're looking at retailing this for $24.95. That's right, isn't it, madam?
Yeah.
Yes, $24.95 a skein, which I think for authentic, genuine Donegal is pretty jolly good. So we're really proud of that, and it's because we have commissioned an entire batch ourselves. So we've gone and passed the savings on that we do by commissioning the entire batch, as opposed to actually buying in retail stock. We're actually commissioning the full batch. We've been able to keep that price down for you, and actually we're really excited. So 190 meters. So she says, let's. I forgot to set this up before. Do one of those mornings, I tell you. Right, we'll do that. I better close that, or you'll possibly be hearing my dings.
So you can all go start finding your patterns now.
You can all go start finding your patterns.
Because as soon as we can, we will have it on the website.
So this is what I wanted to show you here. There we go. And this, I've started pulling out some patterns. So when we spoke to Chris, the lovely Chris from
Donegal.
From Donegal, he put us on to Irish designer Carol Feller. As he said, have you heard of Carol Feller? And we were like, yeah, we have, because we've actually recommended Carol's designs before. You guys may remember Saffron, which is one that we recommended. And in fact, she's a real favourite of ours. We really love her classic, authentic style knits, and they are knits that work for the New Zealand environment, so we really enjoy them. This is one that I pulled up. So I've actually just gone and done a search for Carol's designs, and I've just run the filter over it for Aran weight yarn. So this is how I've come with this, and she works a lot with Kilcara yarns or Donegal yarns, and uses a number of them. And this one I'm plucking out first. Isn't this utterly gorgeous? Such a neat little design for a child. And I picked this one out because look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's cute.
It is super cute. I have picked this one out because the color that she is wearing with this one is called Firefly, and is actually one of the colors we've got coming in the range. Is that really beautiful, rich orange, and that was one of the contentious colors, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And in fact, I've got a funny feeling I think that was a Deb color. you and I hadn't actually
Oh, I can't
chosen it,
remember.
but Deb
We
had.
knew we needed something, that brightness to it. And,
yeah, intense. And we had a really rich red in there, but we needed something with a little bit more sort of and this is it. So when I saw this cardigan, I was like, yay! So
it's good to see it in something finished.
It is, and this one
it's
is
so
called,
different to the yarn itself.
Yeah, and this one's called Thirsty Rose. She's done this on a 5mm needle, and it is just utterly gorgeous. So I'm actually going to be really good, unless someone's really beaten me to it. Oh, there we go, Michelle. Oh, Michelle's onto it today. Kathy's passed over the baton to our Michelle today. So that was certainly one that jumped out straight away. And here are some of this is the beautiful thing about Carol. She has as you can see, so many designs. See, this was another one I really love the look of. And again, this one here is, look at that. Gorgeous cabled cardigan. That one is called Shaniko, Shaniko. But let me have a look. There was another one that grabbed my eye. Because it was a colour, I'm almost certain. I think it's this one here. Yeah, this one here. And that's why. It's because the project below it was this one here. And the reason is, so this one is called Portulaka. I probably totally butchered that. And this one grabbed my eye because this colour here that this lady is wearing is also one of the colours we're getting in the range. That's the peacock. This was one that all three of us agreed on. In fact, it's such a beautiful saturated color, and the fleck in it is amazing. And in fact, this color here alongside this color here, they sit sort of adjacent to each other in the range, and they look amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is certainly another one that we loved. I don't think we went to this green. I've got a funny feeling. I think we I'm trying to remember.
Has it got a name on it? I can remember the names if you tell me. No,
I'm not sure. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely. Actually, that's a good idea.
And it's good to see cables and stuff in it as well. They really look great in it.
And there's really good stitch definition.
Yeah.
And actually, let's just have a look here, because this is have they got? Oh, so they've just gone and used
the numbers.
The numbers. Oh, hold on, but that probably 5514. There we go. Look at this. I should have figured this out earlier.
It's been a busy morning.
Oh gosh, hasn't it just? Hasn't it just? There are so many. Oh, actually, this, I've got a funny feeling. Is it this one? I think this is one of the ones we might be getting, or close to. This one here.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
From what I can see, it looks better, right?
So those are sort of roughly what the neutrals look like. And we've got one, I think, that has got a little bit more, it was a slight fleck of orange in it as well. It was, we really, Kilcara is the, was the original name of it there, Kilcara or Donegal yarns. This one is called the Soft Donegal. It's just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, the green cardigan Carol did on Craftsy, Sharon is saying there. So we're just, honestly, we are just so excited about this yarn. We really, really are. And the team, Chris and his team, have been so fabulous to work with. It was hilarious today, actually. He was showing us this brilliant video.
Yeah. It was really good to watch.
It was awesome to watch. And also to see the differences between, I've got a sneaking suspicion this is another one we've got, actually, is this one here. Is this sort of dark red. I think we took the darkest red that they had. It was really rich and intense. It was amazing. So anyway, let's get out of there. It was... Yeah, super, super, super exciting.
And just to see that picture of where the mill is in Donegal and
Yes.
how sparse it actually is over there.
Oh, the
I was
village
just like,
is
whoa, it's quite
whoa.
different to what I
He was so
imagined.
funny. Yeah, so there was an image of the village that he had up of Kilcare, and showed the village. And then he sort of put his pointer down. He said, "And see this here? That's the mill." We were like, "That's the largest building in the village,
Yeah.
other than the church." So it is. It is from.
Pretty awesome, yeah.
It was amazing, absolutely amazing. They were gutted over there actually because they're having a bit of a resurgence there as well in Ireland with Delta and cases, and they were a bit gutted because their local Gaelic football team, and Gaelic football in that area is like rugby here. It's like the sport, and their little village of Kilcare were in the finals, weren't they? The Donegal finals, like first time ever like this. Well, not it was really big deal. And he well, they won it. No, he said they won it, didn't they? Or they won that, got in there, and he said they were all out partying big time over the weekend. And celebrating, and they were hoping to be able to complete their finals. So, sport is sport wherever you go. It's great. Deborah's asking, how soft is Southlander? Southlander is what we would call one of our more rustic yarns. So it is certainly, not merino soft, but it is with a wash. It definitely does soften. It is probably what I would call your classic Kiwi homespun style jersey texture. Some children find it a bit challenging to wear next to the skin. I actually have a jumper that I've a couple of them, in fact, that I do wear next to my skin. It doesn't bother me, but it is generally a yarn that most people will have a layer between the garment and the yarn, so that would probably be fair. It's not a treated yarn, so it hasn't been treated with any forms of softening or shrink treating. And we do that quite deliberately to keep its bouncy, lively, toothy texture. And that means that it becomes really good for colour work. It means that, in fact, I'll go and grab, I've got mine just sitting on the other side of the bed. I'll go and grab it just to show you.
I think a lot of people in the chat would probably have garments in Southlander. I mean, I've got a few myself. It's kind of a staple yarn that just works well with everything. But yeah, as Marie said, it's something you probably wear a layer underneath.
Sitting in the washing pile to be put away, so that's why I knew it was there. So this is my gold wing, which I knitted using Southlander oatmeal. So that's the oatmeal there. It's in the sport weight, which is the finer weight. But what makes it so fabulous is when you're coming to do stranded colour work like this, is that it allows your colour work to sit really evenly, and it doesn't slip and slide around, which when you're going to do colour work is great because it helps you maintain good, even tensioning. So if you're new to colour work and you've not done a lot of colour work before and you want to give it a go, these toothier yarns work really, really well for it. And when you look at a lot of the designs that are in colour work like this, you will find that a lot of this, particularly feral colour work, so if you're looking at the traditional yarns from Shetland, they're actually even probably a bit toothier than this again. So this is definitely softer than a Jamson and Smith Shetland, for example, but it's got enough grip to it that it will actually hold really well. Also, too, a lot of these designs, the more advanced designs, will actually, and I think the Scandinavian designs, they use this a lot, the Scandinavian yarns that you get, particularly if you're looking at a Lopi, which is Icelandic, or I can't remember the name of it, Faranese yarns are quite similar to this. In fact, this yarn, when I say Scandinavian yarns, this coloured yarn that I'm using here is County, which is Danish. They are definitely very toothy. So like this is would be standard. And the County of these two yarns, the County, this coloured one, is coarser than the oatmeal and the Southlander. So a lot of those designs, Scandinavians do obviously a lot of yoked designs, and they are fond of steeking. So when you're going to do a steek, you want to make sure that you've got a yarn with a little bit of toothiness to it. So when you're actually putting in your steek and you're literally taking your scissors to it and cutting it up, that those stitches aren't all going to fly away and disappear, which they could quite readily do if you were using a shrink treated yarn. So I hope that helps answer that for you. Oh, thanks, Kathy. She's gone and popped that in there. Oh, there we go. Claire's getting bombarded by the kids. Here we go. Roxana's asking. Oh, she's saying it's an awesome yarn that doesn't pull. No, it doesn't. It's fantastic. But when will it be in stock? You know what? That's a really good question. Let's Claire answer that one.
Oh, I wish I could say tomorrow, but
yeah,
it's honestly, we're tearing our hair out over it. But before lockdown, it looked like it was going to be October, November. But who knows what this lockdown's going to do to our schedules? Hopefully not too much.
Yeah.
But watch this space.
We've had some of the naturals in. So the oatmeal came in.
Yeah, and we've got the bracken DK.
And the bracken came in, and the charcoal, I think, has been good.
I have to check that one.
I
know the bracken's definitely there.
Yeah. So the bracken. So the delay was, as for many of you know, is with the darker colours, they are actually dyed over the top of that bracken base. So this was part of the delay, is we had to get a huge big jumbo batch of bracken spun down. And when we get it spun, so a standard size spin batch is 300 kilos. I think we did 600 of the bracken. I've got a funny feeling, wasn't it? It was big. It was double. I've got a funny feeling. So we had to do a double size spin batch of bracken because we needed to sort of divide that out. It's what we call a common count yarn, and I don't have one to unravel, and what that means is we spin a single, and we spin the same single size, and then we do 2 folds creates the Southlander Sport, 3 folds creates the Southlander DK, and 4 folds create the Southlander Bulky. So when we go to do a batch of Southlander, especially Southlander Bracken, that's not only going off to cover the shade of bracken in three qualities, it's also doing all the coloured shades across 3 qualities in that batch as well. So when we go to do it, we have to do a really, really big turbo batch. So that batch we know has been spun.
And if you're waiting for Southlander, make sure you take a look at the Kelly Co, because there are some stunning colours in there, especially for men's jumpers. We purposely picked some really nice, rich, deep colours that, like a lot of people will go with Southlander charcoal. And we've picked some great options in the Kelly Co that will work perfectly for men's jumpers. So take a look at that, and you'll get your hands on it a lot faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so we're kind of so there is going to be a bit of a delay on some of the dyed shades, but this is the thing with Southlander. It is one of our, sorry, I'm just getting wound up here, one of our best-selling yarns. We adore it, we love it. It will be back, I promise. It will be back. The other thing you could do too, and actually that might be a really good, that's actually a nice little lockdown project for me. Now that I've got a little bit of this lurking around, I think I've got some Southlander here. I'm bound to have some Southlander here. I might even if it's just cream, I might dig out some Southlander. I'll go dig through the stash and see if I've got some, and I might just knit it, just play around with a little bit of swatch, even just with some basic slip stitch colour work or something like that with the Kelly Co, just to see how these two look together, or even just some other yarns in our range that we might have that are a similar weight, to sort of see what we can play around with and how things look, because that will give you guys some really nice steer as well to use up stuff that you've got already in your stashes, or you may find that you might want to use something like this as a highlight or a feature. So that actually could be a nice fun thing for me to do while I'm hovering at home doing different things. There's a great. I love it when you guys have a conversations all on your own in the chat, and we don't have to worry about it. Someone brought up Mahana in there before about sensitivity and softness, and I'm really glad. Here we go. Sorry, Denise, I missed your question. Denise is saying, can you tell me, does Mahana shed lots? I know it's lovely and soft. I haven't found Mahana particularly sheddy. Have you?
No.
No, it's a very, very, very fine alpaca, 90% alpaca yarn. The first batch was, I think, actually the second, and the new one is, I think, 100% alpaca. Very, very fine. And long staple. This is the really nice thing with alpaca. It is a really, really long staple. Sometimes when Mahana or alpaca yarns, well, not a Mahana, but alpaca yarns can get a bit sheddy is when the guard hairs are still attached. And a guard hair is, I've just suddenly remembered that I can't remember whether I answered that inquiry about guard hairs. I think I did. That was so last week. The guard hair is the outside of the alpaca fleece, and most of the alpaca yarns that we use have been de-haired. So those coarse hairs have actually been shedded and removed from the fibre. So so you shouldn't actually have any issues with it shedding at all. I know that I've got a shawl that I've worn, and I haven't seen anything sort of come off of mine. Barbara, sorry, I missed yours as well. What is your softest worsted weight for baby leggings? Gosh, actually, that's the thread that we had.
Alpaca go up to what? It depends what tension you're knitting, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on what tension you're wanting to do.
Actually,
no, but you know what? I think batch worsted weight. I think batch would be a winner. Batch is lovely, and I mean, the batch 12 ply that we've got, which is, and it depends on your tension, but if it's a 10 ply, the vintage will be fine. And often too with leggings as well, you want to have something with a little bit more give to it. The vintage, I think, softens up. I did all my baby knits in vintage. I didn't have any issue with vintage. And batch is actually slightly softer again than vintage. Batch is fabulous, and I think batch would be perfect for leggings. It's in the really lovely colours. Mind you, in saying that, we're a bit thin on the crown of a few of those too. But that
I see Deborah's just asked if we are increasing the colour range in Mahana.
We have just changed out the colour range in Mahana.
So is that live?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I can't remember if we I don't know, think we've got the photos yet. I think that might be our problem.
I know we're missing one photo. See, there you go. You're getting a staff meeting at the same time now.
Yeah, this is a little staff meeting happening. Can't remember what we've done.
Yeah, it was. Hold on, let me just have a little look here.
I couldn't remember if we were waiting on all the photos before we did it.
I've got a sneaking suspicion of. Oh yeah, no, DK. That's right. Yes. So the DK is not there because we're still waiting for the photos on the DK because this all happened post lockdown. However, if you want to have a look at the colours, yes, the full price there. Great.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to have a look over onto the Mahana 4-ply, there you will see the new colours that are also coming out in the range. Now, there is one more colour that is missing, okay, so which is called Fio, which is a really lovely blue-grey.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous.
Oh, I've got it.
Have you got it there? Have you?
Oh,
look at that. So that is definitely coming. So if you have a look at the 4-ply, Deborah, you will see what the colours in DK. So those colours are going to be replicated across DK, plus the one that Claire is getting in her hot little hand. And you're in terms of an increase, $7.95 has always been its everyday price, but you may have picked it up when it has been on sale, and often we've had it on sale for $6.95, and I think even for one of the sales it may have been $5.95, but $7.95 is its everyday price. Now, have you got the oh, there we go, that's it.
My lighting's not the best in here, but that's
it is a really sort of beautiful bluey grey. It's lovely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite sorry, the lighting's crap. But all the other colours are up on the 4-ply. Yeah.
So you can have a look at and those and we do have oh sorry, no, you didn't mean the price. Please. Oh, yeah, you're wondering if there'd been an increase in terms of we are going to put more into the range. Yes, definitely. So we're actually the Mahana. That was one of the things that we had all planned to do before all this happened. We were just waiting for those last colours to come through, and then we were going to do a newsletter out and let you know what was going on with all of that and stuff. But that's all right; it's not going anywhere, and we'll definitely be able to do that. So it's all sitting there ready to go. It's sort of, and it's beautiful. We're really happy with those colours because we picked those November last year.
Yeah, a lot of our range increases were done then.
And with the Mahana colours, we went with colours that we wanted sort of things that were quite earthy and sort of very, just sort of earthy and comforting, and so those. And I think we've done that. I really love them. I think they'll look amazing together. Actually, I'd love to see. In fact, if you're wanting some yarns to do some shawls, and particularly if you've got shawls which are using yarns which are 200 meters per a lot of them, rather, are 400 meters per 100 gram skein. That's the same count as this Mahana, the Mahana 4-ply. That's 200 meters per 50 gram ball. And if you are in lots of those shawl patterns, use that weight yarn is what they would do. It is definitely worth checking it out. That 4-ply, I think it will be absolutely perfect in any of those sorts of shawl patterns. It will look amazing. It is so soft. You could definitely wear it up around your face and neck without any issues. It is just lovely. Someone was asking about the composition. Yes, 90% alpaca, 10% merino. The merino, I can tell you, is there's two reasons the merino is there. We either use merino or Polworth. The second batch, I think, was merino. The reason for that is when we're actually processing the alpaca, sometimes you need to add, it's very slinky malinky. You need to literally add a little bit of wool just to give it a little bit of tension when it's running through the machinery. So that's why it's there. The wool, from a practical point of view, in terms of how the yarn feels and performs, doesn't actually add anything to it. It is just purely there as a sort of conduit to actually make sure that the alpaca itself spins really well. A lot of places actually wouldn't let you know that the wool is there. We just choose to let you know that it's there, but it is lovely, really, really good. And in this particular case, I think I do know we used the organic merino. It's a very fine 21 micron organic merino, which we used for legacy. That's what went into that. So it's beautiful.
Someone's asked about shipping in level 4. It's still a no. We're not an essential service, so we are not shipping in level 4.
Yeah. We did try, though. We have tried. We are looking, though, at we have had some inquiries around blankets, because we have had blankets in the past and some people have been wanting to get hold of some blankets. We have actually spoken literally before we jumped on here. I spoke to our blanket man this morning, and he is going down to get some blankets out for us. So, and we'll let those ones know that have contacted us around blankets. So he's going in to check his stocks. So we will actually have a range of blankets there for those that need them, just depending on how long things last. So those are definitely coming. And I think that's about. Have we got anything else? Any other news on your list, madam?
No, I don't think so. I think we're pretty good.
I think we are pretty good. Just to remind everybody, I will be back here tomorrow with Patrice. She is one of our Skeinz Speak Easy members who I have managed to coerce to come and join me tomorrow, because she is a physio, and we're going to talk about, because we're doing a lot more knitting and things start to ache when you're doing a lot more knitting, and she's going to actually talk through some preventions and things that we can do to actually keep ourselves nice and knit fit. So it will be really, really cool to have her here tomorrow. And I have Helene from Happy Go Knitty booked in for Thursday.
This is Happy Go Knitty.
Oh, is that Happy Go Knitty? Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. So yes, we've got Helene here on Thursday, and I haven't drummed anyone up for Friday yet. That's not today's problem.
Too many other things to sort out.
I know, too many other things to sort out. So we're going to head off because we've got 1,001 things that we need to do.
But keep your eye out for the Kelly Co, because it will be out as soon as we can get it done.
Yeah, as soon as we can get photography, and it's essentially just photography because we've got it all loaded. As soon as we get photography up, we're off to the races, really, aren't we?
Oh, I just had an idea.
Oh, gosh. Okay, stay there. You can tell me about it when we say goodbye to everybody. That worries me. It's a bit like live tally. Do you really want her sharing the idea live? And don't you go all saying yes.
Marie loves my ideas. I'm an ideas woman.
Yeah, you're an ideas woman. Yeah. Some of them go, not all of them go straight to the pool room, though.
No.
And on that note, I will see everybody back here tomorrow. Thank you for joining us for the Quarantine Diaries. And to parrot our friends, stay home, stay safe. But most importantly, knit on. Until then, see you tomorrow.
See you later.